Welcome everyone. We're here and we have the Sandslash line. Sandslash and Alolan Sandslash are both very viable now. I would cover both in one video, but I think that would be a little bit too dense and also kind of weird because for the most part I only do one evolution line in a video at most. So I will keep them to separate videos, so they might be a little bit shorter each, but you can always just watch this one right after, or the other one right after this one. I will briefly talk about the comparisons between the two, but as a rule of thumb, Alolan Sandslash is stronger and bulkier, but slower. And Cantonian Sandslash has only single stab, but it has Tough Claws, while Alolan Sandslash has dual stab, but Technician instead of Tough Claws. And Technician is excellent on Alolan Sandslash, but that will be for their video. So this is Cantonian Sandslash's video. Cantonian Sandslash was significantly worse than Alolan, because Alolan actually has some pretty good use in competitive, although now they are much faster as a whole, so they're even better, and they're also much stronger, and they have much better moves. So that being said, here we go. Tough Claws, I don't think I need to explain the logic behind that. It's very obvious and very fitting, and it's nice because it essentially gives them like a boost to their non-stab moves as well. So Tough Claws stab boosted physical moves get a 1.95 times boost, which is 5% less than an adaptability boost because of the way math works. So Tough Claws plus Seismic Fist or Drill Run is incredible. And Headlong Rush. So those are your contact ground type moves. Contact ground type moves that are good. They are Seismic Fist is 90 base power, 100% accurate. I believe there's a 30% chance to drop defense as well. Drill Run is 70 base power and a 50% crit rate. So with a Scope Lens, that will always crit, and you also have other crit moves. So if you ran, for example, a Tough Claws Scope Lens Sandslash, you can get a 105 base power Drill Run that's also Tough Claws boosted, as well as Jagged Edge, which is Rock type, Night Slash, which is Dark type, obviously, Cross Poison and Laceration, and those are all great coverage moves on top of your 105 base power Drill Run. You have 105 base power coverage, and those are all Tough Claws boosted. Before I keep talking about abilities, though, I want to quickly talk about. Well, actually, lastly, I'll just say the last physical Tough Claws boosted move, ground type Tough Claws boosted move rather, which is Headlong Rush. That is a 150 base power ground type move that drops your defenses by 1, like close combat, and lowers your and gives you 25% recoil, like something like Flare Blitz would. So that is great to have. It's very powerful. It's very late level. So stat-wise, you have an excellent 110 base speed. Just looking at their design, and that they run around and they spin around, they spin and shit. Hold on, I just got a text. Oh, okay. So that's great. It literally says here quickly, like it's very obvious that it should be moving pretty quickly. Kind of reminds me almost of like Sonic. So 110 base speed is amazing on them. If you are curious, you can check out the speed tier guide and see how they match up with all these other Pokemon. So that's awesome. Here you can see the stuff that they outspeed and the stuff that outspeeds them. So that's really useful. And then your Tough Claws boost your already good 105 base attack to extreme levels. So 105 base attack with a Tough Claws boost. Say you're not even a neutral. Say you're just a neutral attack nature with 309 times 30%, or with 30% boost is basically 402 base attack. 402 attack. Oh God, I'm talking fast. 402 attack as a number. So that is equal to maxed out base. What? 135, and unmaxed out it's basically like 150. So if, like, let's say it's also neutral nature, that's like 152 or something. So it's extremely powerful with Tough Claws, and again, you have very good stab with Tough Claws, so that becomes like adaptability because of the stab boosted stacks with Tough Claws, while your coverage moves are still boosted by a very, very solid 30%. So Sandslash is very, very powerful. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. I had considered moves like Bounce and Acrobatics because they just give me Sonic the Hedgehog vibes, so I can see him like hopping around and spinning around, but I just didn't do it. They do have cool spin moves though, like Rapid Spin, Flame Wheel, and Steamroller. Steamroller, which is a semi-exclusive move. So Rapid Spin gives you +2 speed now, and then that's great on Sand Shrew, especially. So for example, a Sand Force Sand Shrew with Rapid Spin early game is very powerful. And you also have access to Sediment at level 20, which heals you by 2/3 HP in the sand. So Sand Shrew, despite evolving after Hala, is very useful for Hala because it has a good defense stat, it has solid bulk, solid speed, and 70 base attack with Sand Force boost becomes very powerful if you're using like Dig, Rock Blast, and no steel moves actually early game until you get Iron Head by Tutor, which is not in time for it's not in time for Hala, but you still have rock and ground moves, or not stab, but rock and ground with Sand Force, and that becomes very powerful. Sand Force boosts the same as Tough Claws, so early game it's very nice because Sandstorm is a TM available before Totem Gumshoes, so you can run like Sediment, Rapid Spin, Dig sets on your Sand Shrew, and that's very potent and usable. Defense Curl and Sediment in the sand is also nice. If you're not running the sand sets though, you also just have Sturdy, which is a very solid ability for the early game. A lot of fights that will come in handy versus like How versus Dulce in the Ultra Recon squad. It'll come in handy for sure, and it's nice to be able to abuse that. You also have a Cellar Rock for priority, which is nice. So that's cool. And then when you evolve, you get a lot of great utility, but I want to talk about the stats and abilities. So you also have a good base defense stat. So you have 65, 110, 60 bulk, which might not sound that great, although 110 defense is pretty good. However, what you can do is you can run a Sand Rush set and not invest in your speed whatsoever. So 110 base speed with a neutral nature and 0 investment in the sand is still incredibly fast. And if you have like a negative speed nature or 0 speed IVs, you're still going to outspeed like everything in the sand. So you don't need to run any speed investment with sand rush sets. So you can really take advantage of Sand Rush that way and run a bulky set with max HP or max defense and still run max attack. And you can use like bulk up in sand with your max HP and you're very tanky. And then you can go to town in the sand without having to worry about that. And obviously, Tough Claws is your go-to ability, but Sand Rush is situationally extremely very useful and powerful. So the beautiful thing is you have infinite ability capsules, and Sand Stream is one of the first TMs you get access. God, very flustered speaking, sorry. What am I trying to say here? Sandstorm is an early TM, so you can reteach that infinitely on and off, and then you have Sand Rush as an infinitely swappable ability from Tough Claws. So that was my point I was trying to make, is that both abilities are very excellent and usable and viable, despite Tough Claws being much more like on paper stronger. My English is not good right now. So that's awesome. It's awesome stuff right there. So yeah, that's Sand Rush utility. Of course, Sand Rush is great with Swords Dance as well. So that's all great. And then I already covered the Tough Claws stab moves, which are Headlong Rush, Drill Run, and Seismic Fist. And then you have a lot of nice utilities such as Parting Shot, Spikes, Spiky Shield, Sediment, of course, in the sand is great as well. So you can run like a bulk up Sediment set in the sand with Sand Rush and become very, very tanky and heal up and stuff and just get the +3, which is the max calm minus, sorry, max bulk ups you can get to is 3 PP. So you can get the +3 attack and +2 defense in the sand with Sediment and then go to town and start sweeping. So that's all great. You also have Flame Wheel, which will boost your speed by 1. So Rapid Spin boosts your speed by 2. Flame Wheel is 10 base power stronger, fire type, and only gives you +1 speed. While at level 63, you get Steamroller, which is 100 base power, bug type coverage, which of course you also have in the form of U-turn, lunge, first impression, all that kind of stuff. I'm surprised I didn't give them X Scissor. I actually probably should. I just don't know what level. I guess I don't need it. It's fine. Take a trip because Jagged Edge is nice for like Tough Claws boosts, but you already have lunge as a Tough Claws boosted bug type move, and U-turn and first impression and Steamroller. So all of those are literally all your bug type moves are Tough Claws boosted besides Pin Missile. So that's cool. And those are all useful coverage moves, of course. Slash at 33 is nice as well with Scope Lens until you get access to the coverage ones. You get Counter, which is nice for totems. Rock Wrecker, which is just there because I needed to fill in slots, and because it's a good move. Rock Wrecker is similar to like Hyper Beam and Giga Impact, where it drops your attack stat by 2 and it's 150 base power, so that's great. But yeah, Steamroller boosts your speed by 1, it's 100 base power, and has a 30% flinch rate, so really, really good move right there. Only Pokemon that can like spin into balls get that move, so like not that many Pokemon at all. Not all the Rapid Spin ones, because it's like they have to be like big enough to roll over you. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, you also have other good stab options that are not Tough Claws boosted for Sand Rush sets, such as Precipice Blades and Earthquake. and Stomach Tantrum and stuff. But coverage-wise, for Tough Claws, you get access to, like I said, you get Night Slash, Cross Poison, Laceration, and Bug type moves. You also get access to Covet and Play Rough, Thunder Punch and Wild Charge, Fire Punch and Flame Wheel, Knock Off, Night Slash, Fury Swipes, all these other dark type moves, Poison Jab and Cross Poison, Shadow Punch for Ghost instead of Dark, which is slightly better. In most situations, Ghost is better coverage than Dark. Yeah, tons of awesome stuff. Smart Strike is nice. Boost your accuracy by 1 as well. Health Thrust is powerful. First Impression is powerful. With Tough Claws, it's nice and situational, but it's good to have as a TM to be able to teach if you want that priority hit. Rock Climb is also Tough Claws boosted. Takedown is a big deal. Takedown and Brick Break. Those are 2 great fighting type Tough Claws boosted moves, as well as Close Combat as one of the last TMs you get. Close Combat's great. Solar Blade is nice. Not Tough Claws boosted, but it is nice just for coverage. Under like Sunsets or something for some, if you had a Sun team or something, or you want to run like Power Rip to like smack a Swampert or something, it's nice. Or like a Quagsire, whatever it is, 4 times weak mon. I believe that's it, honestly. Really not too much else to cover. I think I did a pretty good job doing this quickly. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself there. Yeah, that's about it. Just really, really strong, really fast. I could cover Alolan Sandslash, but I will just do that for the next video. Also, Finishing Blow is very nice. Finishing Blow in the sand is insane because Finishing Blow is 35 base power, but it always crits, so it's essentially 53 base power. And it gives you +3 attack if you kill something with it. So in the sand with that speed boost, Finishing Blow is extremely powerful. You can start sweeping and snowballing very quickly with that. Yeah, I think I covered about everything. Honestly, not too much else. There's a little nitty-gritty stuff I could get into, but I'm not going to waste my time doing it. You guys can read. Yeah, useful stuff like utility, like Parting Shot, Toxic Spikes, that kind of thing. Yeah. Excuse me. Thank you for listening, everybody. Very, very cool Mon change here. Very powerful, very fast, very strong, very reliable. Good Mon. Thank you, everybody.